Lies Against Our Flag. April 19, 2020 by Anna von Reitz. We have just summarized in our earlier post the ways and means by which the elites have contrived to rule over the rest of the world, and we deduce from looking at the long list, that their entire secret methodology amounts to fakery. Just lies upon false assumptions and false claims and more lies. So we addressed the pathetic quantum financial system. And we addressed the ancient but still potentially virulent issue of dog Latin, aka PARSE syntax, being an Anglicized form of Latin amounting to gibberish. And finally, we address the lies being told about our flag. We wish to begin by saying that it is our flag. It belongs to us. It was created by the United States of America, adopted as the flag of the United States of America, and like our Great Seal, is our property. Next, we wish to explain to you that when we delegated certain enumerated powers to foreign governments and allowed those foreign governments to exercise those powers for us, we also allowed them to use specific variations of our flag and our Great Seal. You will notice that their Great Seals are always enclosed by a solid circle. This is because they are exercising delegated authority, not sovereign authority. You will also notice that the Federal Code, Title IV, separates out and describes a specific variation of our flag that is allowed for their use. This so-called Title IV flag is on loan to the British Territorial United States of America for them to use in the accomplishment of their duties. Again, a version of our flag was set aside for their use and designated for that purpose, just as the encircled seals were set aside and designated for the use of our subcontractors. So, what really happened to our Title IV flag when the United States of America, Inc. went bankrupt and that bankruptcy was settled in 1999? According to Russell J. Gould, he marched into Washington, just him and his buddy, David Wynn Miller, and claimed our Title IV flag for themselves. Unfortunately, for MSRs, Gould and Miller, that flag is our property, and never belonged to the United States of America, Inc. It was on loan to them for specific purposes under specific contract. When the contract defaulted due to their bankruptcy, so did their right to use our flag. The actual international law is that possession by pirates does not change ownership. So regardless of selfish attempts to claim a version of our flag for their use without our consent and without any contract with us to provide services in our name, the Title IV flag remains our property and it is obvious criminal activity to claim otherwise. Mr. Gould needs to be rounded up, again, as an international criminal, and taught the actual international law without further ado. Sadly, our actual flag is struck and face down in the Capitol Rotunda and in chambers of the Senate and House, as it has been for many years, thanks to ignorance or complicity on the part of our generals. You will note that our actual flag is not proportioned as a Title IV flag. It is in fact fatter in the vertical dimension. So, our actual flag has suffered disrespect from our federal subcontractors under conditions of false pretense for 150 years, and through their own incompetence, the Title IV flag we loaned to them for their use has been dishonored and captured by pirates, too. It is well past time for the lard butts and lackeys to wake up. The actual flag owed to our country is struck and hanging in the struck position in the Capitol. It is your job to raise it and keep it raised. Simple enough. Additionally, the Title IV flag that was allowed for the use of our federal subcontractors has been captured by pirates. It's your duty to recover it and return it to the owners, the United States of America. I met with Mr. Gould for 5 days. I found him to be charming, but making a lot of insupportable claims. His claim to own the American flag was one of those claims.